Okay, let's look about the start of the cqrlog, and I really mean the start of the first time when there is no logs yet in the system. So there is a new welcome screen, and it has three options. The default is using your Linux user folder for the logs. That has been so since the start of the cqrlog. Then there is a second option, local machines SQL server, and the third one is the external network server that has been there also before. But this first option often fails with the problems starting the SQL server, and in those cases you could try to use the second option, because when you install cqrlog, you also install the SQL server, and it's there ready and running, waiting for use. And let's try this second option, and you see there is a definition of the values of username and password. It gives all defaults, and you cannot change the IP address or the port, because these are for a local machine. So if you press OK now, it will open a console and ask you a user password, because it needs the password for creating SQL user, and it seems the creation is successful. And then we go on, and it says that the SQL user addition went OK, and you can press OK now, and also informs that you have a backup script in your home folder called backup all sqrsh, and it's for the backupping the log from the local server database, because when we use the local server database we need to SQL dump all the logs from the database, and in addition of that we need to copy the .config cqrlog folder. But let's go on now for the startup. It takes some time to create the first log, and now it's there, and you see the server name is localhost, the port is the usual SQL port 3306, and the username is cqrlog, and the password is cqrlog, that is not shown. And remember me and how to connect is set, so we can see the first log here, and we can open it, and you got the change log there, and when we close that you get new information that says that you don't have station call sign for this log yet, and you should open the preferences and set the call sign and name and other things that you can see here. At least these you should go through from the preferences. After you have set your call sign to the log, you don't see this anymore, and anytime you create a new log you get this prompt, because every log has its own settings and they must be set or copied by the utils configuration import export session. Okay, and now we open the cqrlog, and we have empty log there ready for use. I have now added few QSOs to this new log, and because I'm using now the local SQL server, I like to make backup from the logs and settings. So that is the way to do it. We close the cqrlog and open the command console, and when we are first starting the cqrlog, it told that it has done a backing up script for us, and it's in our logo folder. So we find it. It's called backup all sqr sh, and because we're starting it from console, we put the dot and slash before the name, and then just press enter. And now the backup is done from the SQL server. It has created a dump file from all the logs in database, and after that it has creating separate backups from each cqrlog log, and that is because if you want to restore everything, if you have several logs at database and you want to restore everything, you use this common backup. But if you want just restore one log of your logs, then you have to choose the log number and back up this, and you can see the instructions here. If you like to restore all the cqrlog logs, then the command is mysql h localhost p3306 u is user cqrlog, p is password cqrlog, and then put this file into this command. And if you want to restore one log but not all logs, then the command is the same, but you have to put the log name here, and also select the file that has this backup. It's named with the same name, and then it will restore only this one log. And when you do this kind of restoring, be sure that this file name and this log name are same. And now if we look at the temp folder, we can see that there is cqrlog 001 SQL. There is also another one, because I did try this before I recorded this. So you can see that there are two backups with different time, and there are two common cqrlog backups having everything also at the same time. So now you can save these files from your USB stick or somewhere else where they are saved, because they will disappear from the temp folder at next restart. And if you want also that all the settings are saved, we go back to user folder, and there is a folder called .config and cqrlog, and it's holding all other things but not the logs at this case, and you have to make cp stroke a, that means all the files and folders, and put them to somewhere. Your USB stick folder, whatever it is. And this way you can save all the settings, and when you restore it you just copy the folder from the and subfolder from the USB stick back to your user folder. And one thing more, if your first setup fails, you just delete this folder with the rm rf, and we take this name from here. Oops, not twice, just once, like this. And after that your cqrlog will start from scratch. There is no log and nothing. It will come back to this first start where it asks what place to use for the logs.